Hey, everybody. I figured instead of doing a long worded intro, I'll give you guys funny voice intro. Yesterday was supposed to be Timeout Thursday, not today. I kind of got my days mixed up. Squirrel is basically what happened inside my brain, and I got my days mixed up. So you guys are getting Timeout Thursday on Friday instead. Timeout Thursday is where I take a adult time out and talk about certain things, kind of like Storytime Sunday, but different. Yeah, different. Today's topic is when negative thoughts enter our minds. So let's get into today's video. It's also day 12 of the giveaway. Who's getting excited? I am. Okay, let's get into the video.
Hey everyone, how's it going? How's your day going so far? As you can tell by the title, my day's been backwards. My week has been backwards. Sherry here, aka Diamond Art Addiction, and welcome to today's video, which is Time Out Thursday, a day late. Oh, I tell you, it has been a whirlwind of a week, and I got my days mixed up. I don't know how I did that because I went live on the right night at the right time. But anyway, today's topic is basically when negative thoughts enter our head. And what Timeout Thursday is basically where even as adults, we need time outs. A time to think, a time to evaluate, find solutions, just have a namaste moment. And negative thoughts that we think, it is human, we all do it, and I always told you guys that I was going to keep it 100% real on my channel. Like, this channel, I started it to help me on my healing journey. I find it very therapeutic. But for the last week or so, my brain's been playing some tricks on me, I tell you. Like, the negative thoughts that keep going through my brain, and I know I can't help it, but here's what I try to do. For every negative thought that I think, or that seeps its way into my brain, I try to counteract it with a positive. And the main negativity that's been going through my head recently has to do with me doing YouTube. And the negative monster has been just wreaking havoc in my head. Like, did I make the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Because I do talk about very sensitive topics. So I'm one of those people that I overthink, I overanalyze. I'm also one of those people that I take everything so personal. And no, I am not making this video because I want people to pat me on the head and say, no, you're doing a good job. Keep doing you. That's not why I'm doing this. That is not why I am doing this. The reason why I'm creating this video and this topic, because I know that there are others out there who are in the same boat. Maybe not necessarily when it comes to doing YouTube, but having the negative thought train going woo woo in your brain. And I know I'm not the only person that has these issues. And I mean, yeah, I can come on here and I can sit there and I can pretend and I can act that everything is just great and blah, blah, blah. And you know what, you guys, in real all honesty, I really don't have anything to complain about besides the fact my back hurts. But that's just something that I'm living with. It's just those negative thoughts that creep their way into my head. And a part of my healing journey is I'm trying to counteract those negative thoughts. You know, and what's really been on my mind a lot lately, yes, is YouTube. Am I cut out to do this? Am I doing the right thing? Again, I'm going to say you don't need to comment. You know, I'm not looking for gratification. I'm not looking for clout or whatever the hell that word is. But this is just me thinking out loud, sharing with you all where I'm at right now. And, you know, I'm squirreling and I've got too much going through my head. This time of year is really tough for me. As you can tell, I'm working on my angel baby painting. And this time of year is really, really tough for me. So this is where I can really, you know, the negativity can really seep into me and play with me. You know, and it's our own brain doing it. We're doing it to ourselves. We really, truly are. I've had quite a few people say to me, like, why did you decide to suddenly just out of the blue start YouTube? A, to share my passion of diamond painting. B, to meet like-minded people. And C, why the hell am I justifying anything to anybody? I shouldn't have to. But I'm more or less playing this big head trip with myself. Do I regret? No. I absolutely love doing this. I have fun with it. It can be a head trip, and anybody who does YouTube will agree with me. Because the first person that says, oh no, I don't think negative and I don't say bullshit. Bullcrap. Anybody who is a creator is constantly playing the guessing game in their head. Am I creating good enough content? Is this the content that people are going to want? You know, it is. And when you struggle with anxiety as it is, you know, and for so many years, you've been told you're not good enough, you're never going to be good enough. It's really hard to retrain your brain how to think. And that's kind of been my mission over the last 10 years, is to retrain myself, you know, not comparing myself to others. Don't compare my channel to anybody else's channel. I don't want to be like anybody else's channel. I want to be Diamond Art Addiction. I want to be me. You know, and then, you know, you'll see the dislikes come in, like, you know, where people will dislike your video, and then that really plays with you. You know, it does. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what creator says what. It does wreak a little havoc on you. I kind of try to look at it as, okay, great, you don't like it. Well, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't expect to be everybody's cup of tea. Not everybody on this planet is gonna like me. Just like I'm not gonna like everybody on this planet. It's just, but it does play games with you. And I'm trying to counteract the negative with positive. So every time I start to feel a negative thought about doing YouTube and do I want to continue, all I do is I think of the positives that have happened since I started YouTube. I've met amazing people. I'm growing lifelong friendships. you know, but yet for some reason I cannot kick this brain playing games on me. And I try to think to myself, well, I got a lot going on, you know, not just YouTube, but my real life, real life. And, you know, actually, if it wasn't for doing this, I think I would probably go mad. You know, I don't leave my house very often. Hello, social anxiety. You know, I leave my house to go get groceries, go to the doctors, and usually I try to organize it. Oh, stay straight, squirrel. This is my memorial painting for my son, so I'm trying to be uber picky with it, and I'm not really good with squares. Anyway, I'm totally squirreling here, and I completely lost my train of thought. But yes, my timeout this week has been trying to cope with the negative thoughts that go through my head. And everybody does that, right? Like, you know, and I'm not looking for, like I said, I don't need people. It is nice. Like, I was actually reading the comments from my live on Wednesday. I was reading the comments, and my sister was over today, and I said, you see, look at that. I said, here, I've been wondering if this is the right thing, and did I make the right decision? And look at these comments. And right there, it's like, wow, thank you, you guys. And then it's like, okay, that is the right thing. I am on the right track. It's just retraining my brain how to counteract the negative thoughts that go into my head. And I know that there are a lot of you out there that want to start channels. Do it. Do it. And here's some tips that I can give you from what I've learned from just over the last month. You definitely have to have a tough skin. You're gonna get dislikes on your video. Don't overthink it. Like, don't go, well, what could I have done different? Why didn't they like it? I liked it. Other people liked it. Don't worry about it. Who cares? If they don't like it, they don't like it. That's their story. That is their issue, not yours. That is something that I have to tell myself every day. I am very sensitive. Like, I am uber sensitive. You know, I can take something that was said to me, and somehow in my pea brain head of mine, I can twist it and make it into something that it probably wasn't, as we learned with the I'm sorry video. And, you know, that I'm sorry video was a huge, was a complete huge misunderstanding. You had two different personality types, you know, and it happened. It was a huge lesson learned. I took a lot of positive from it. Do I regret it? No. Am I going to take that video down? No. I will never delete a video that I put up. And the reason being is there is a reason why I put that video up, and I'm going to keep that video up for that reason. Is I got a lot more positive out of that than anything else. You know, there are different personalities in this world. No two people are going to be the same. I don't know how you guys get to keep these squares straight. This drives me wild. Squirrel! Look, I got my squirrel pen. I named him Chip. Squirrel! I have a lot of trouble staying on topic and staying focused on the agenda at hand. That's just who I am. Hi, I'm Sherry, and I squirrel a lot. Squirrel is my best friend. So if you're like me and you do, those negative thoughts seep into your head, like when someone says something to you, well, why did they say that to me? Or why did they say that to me like that? What did they mean? What do they mean by that? We all do that. And it's really super hard to try to change your way of thinking. It really, truly is. Stay straight. And I'm losing my train of thought again. I almost wasn't going to film today, and I was just going to put up a little blurb of a video for the giveaway. But then I'm like, no, don't do that. I always do that. I have a track history, very long track history of starting something and then I never finish. Like I've done, I don't know how many home-based businesses and I never stuck to them. And you guys already know how I feel about home-based businesses. And it's not the home-based businesses. It wasn't my uplines. A lot of it was me because I couldn't stay out of my own head. If you're going to do a home-based business or if you're going to do YouTube or whatnot, you're going to put yourself out there in the public eye on social media, you got to be prepared. You got to be able to be ready for the negative, not only from people, but from your own self. Something that I figured out, like I've been wanting to do YouTube for a very long time. I've always wanted to, just like I've always wanted to write a book. I am definitely a writer. I write poetry. Some people have heard some of my stuff. One day, maybe I'll read a poem on a video. There we go. Now you're straightening out. Okay, I see how you square paintings work. Huh. I have been trying to get this section done all day. By the time I finish this painting, it'll be Xavier's 25th birthday. I am totally OCDing way too much over this. I basically went from not being on social media because I took a social media break. I was only on Facebook and I literally took a hiatus, never even told anyone that I just left. I didn't feel like I had to justify and say, by the way, I'm taking a break from Facebook. I've done that before. To me, it was just shut up and go. I don't need to justify nothing to nobody. When you come from severe domestic abuse or severe abuse, and I don't know what's worse, physical or psychological. We were actually talking about that in my live there the other night. And I know one of the comments, someone had come in saying that the psychological abuse they went through. I really think, like, there were many times when I was with the father of my sons, I would look at him and say, would you just hit me? Because the things you're saying hurt more than a fist to my face, which I had countless times when I was with my daughter's father. When someone's telling you you're worthless and you're garbage and why do you do this wrong and why do you do that wrong and blah, 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 and pick, you start to believe what they're telling you and you start to think they're right. And I never had much self-esteem to begin with, even as a child, because I always knew I was different. I've never had confidence. I'm 40 years old and I'm just starting now. And it's taken 10 years of healing that I've been working on over the past 10 years. just to get where I'm at now. And I still don't have much confidence. You know, I like to try to come across that I have confidence, and I try to portray that, you know, the negative comments or the dislikes don't bother me. Well, yeah, of course they do. Of course they bother me. I wouldn't be human if they didn't. You know, I just try to look at the positive of it. And it's taken me 10 years. Oh, sorry, I needed a drink there. I was getting a little parched. Hopefully I don't burp because I'm drinking carbonation. And while I have it in my little pea-sized brain over here, let's get to our giveaway question. Are you tea or coffee? Do you prefer tea or coffee? There is your question. Am I going to have a bonus? I don't know. You're going to have to stick around to the end of the video. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Oh, I like this. But that is your question. Are you tea or coffee? All right, so back to Timeout Thursday. A day late. I'm always in my head saying, well, if you say this, are they going to think you're looking for attention? Or if you do this, are they going to, I'm trying to tell myself, stop it. Quit worrying about what everyone else is going to think. They're going to think what they're going to think. And that's the thing. That's something that I have learned, is we cannot control what others think, say, or do. No matter how hard we try, no matter, you're never ever going to be able to please everyone, no matter what. And the moment that I figured that out, life slowly got a little bit easier. You're never going to be able to make everybody happy. The only person that you need to worry about making happy is yourself. Because if you're not happy, how can anyone else around you be happy? If you don't love yourself, how can anyone else love you? Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Do I love myself? Absolutely. I didn't really start accepting myself or loving myself for who I am up until about a year ago. It was just after my last, where I was actually really suicidal. I know, right? I was. I'll tell you guys the story. Sit back and be prepared. I'm just kidding. It was New Year's of 2017. It had been 6 months since I went on medical leave from my job. I'd just gotten the MS diagnosis. And my daughter had had her baby in September. Her and her boyfriend were living with us. I was spinning in circles between being sick, trying to take care of the household, helping my daughter who was a new mom. And my one son I'm not going to say which one, but I had a son that had tried to commit suicide. And I was just at my breaking point. You know, I was trying to deal with my health and everything else that was going on around me. And this checkerboard is not working the way I want. Squirrel! So New Year's Eve, my daughter and her boyfriend stayed back in the next town over. And me and my hubby came here where I'm at now Like basically we had two homes, the one in Edson and the one here in Hinton. I don't care if you guys know where I live. I'm so tired of saying this town. So we had our home in Edson, and then we had our home here in Hinton. The one in Hinton we owned. The one that was in Edson, it was actually my grandparents' old place, and they'd passed away, so it was my mom's, and we were renting it. And we couldn't exactly leave my mom and dad in a lurch by moving to Hinton. So, I was trying to figure out my daughter, my daughter and her boyfriend were paying rent. So it worked out, but there was a lot of fighting, a lot of tension. And New Year's of 2017, we'd come to Hinton, and I lost it. I looked at my husband. My husband looked at me, and he's like, that's how well he knows me. He's like, what's wrong? He's like, you're not yourself. What's wrong? I turned around. I looked at him with tears pouring down my face. And I said, I'm trying to figure out a way to kill myself where you guys won't find my body. And his jaw, he just went, what? And then so we talked. And then I asked him to go upstairs and grab me an Ativan and my cigarettes. And he did. So while he was upstairs grabbing those items, I literally looked up at the sky. Well, the roof being the sky. You guys know what I mean. And I said, universe, Jesus, Buddha, Hecate, Gaia, whoever's listening, help me. What do I do? Which direction do I go in? Do we leave Edson and move to Hinton? What do I do? I'm like, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to die, but I can't keep going on. Like, the true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And then, so I was on bended knee, did my prayer. Then the husband came back, and we talked for 3-4 hours that night. The next day was New Year's Day, and we were supposed to go back to Edson. Well, we're getting ready. We're loaded up the vehicle. And all of a sudden, we went over to our ex-friends, Mary's. You guys remember the story about Mary? We were still friends at that time. And we went over there, and my husband lost his phone. Because in my prayer, I said, I need a sign. Give me a sign. I need a sign. I need something. Just throw me a bone. Give me anything. Anything. So we were at Mary's, and my husband couldn't find his cell phone. His cell phone was missing. So him and Mary's husband came over to our place, and they looked and looked and looked. And needless to make a long story short, we were forced to stay in Hinton another night. And I'm like, there's my sign. I looked up at the sky, and I'm like, that was fast. And what the sign was is we were meant to move. We were meant to move to Hinton, where we're at now, which is actually my hometown. This is where I grew up. And within 3 weeks, we were moved and settled in. My daughter and her boyfriend got their own place. My sister and brother-in-law took over renting my mom and dad's trailer. Within that year, my mom and dad's place sold, and it was like a domino effect of boom, boom, boom. Everything just fell into place. And I was like, wow, okay. No different than when I prayed to the universe for my other half. I told that one a while ago, and I got down on bended knee. and said, this is not the person I'm meant to be with. I need the person I'm meant to be with. And within 6 weeks, I met Mr. Addiction. So the moral of the story is try to remain positive. Try to look for the positive in everything. And if all else is failing, pray to whatever God, goddess, universe, whatever, don't matter. Ask for a sign. You may not necessarily like the sign that you get. You may not necessarily like the answer. But everything that happens, I truly believe happens for a reason. That was like just before I started actually doing YouTube. I was super, super depressed and lonely, and like all my family live in Edson. And the only people that we have here in Hinton is Mr. Addiction's sister and her family, but they're busy, and she's got 3 kids, and you know, she works full time and he has his own business. And you know, basically Mr. Addiction and I are both on disability, so we're retired at a very young age is what I call it. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. And again, I lit some candles and I prayed. I asked for a sign. And then the next day I had a conversation with a friend, and they're like, well, why don't you start YouTube? You love diamond painting so much. You've always wanted to do YouTube. And I was like, oh, there's my sign. And here we are. And in my long-windedness here, my very long-windedness, poof, that was a lot of percentage signs. Wow. Don't let the negative thoughts steer you away from what you enjoy or what you want to do. Of course, I'm getting those negative thoughts right now about doing YouTube and continuing with YouTube. Those negative thoughts, but I'm not going to let them win. I am not going to let those negative thoughts take over. Absolutely not. You know, you guys are kind of stuck with me now. You know, and I'm going to have moments, you know, right now I upload daily. Am I forever going to upload daily? I don't know. You know, when I first started this, I didn't realize how much work goes into it. It is a lot of work. Like, I got a lot of respect for these creatives that I've been watching for 10 freaking years, because it is a lot of work. It's actually not looking too shabby, if I do say so myself. Not bad for, this is the most square diamond painting I've done. Squirrel! Right now, yes, I will continue uploading daily. I'm eventually going to rename my channel to Diamond Art Addiction and More, because I do plan on introducing, you know, different things to my channel that are not just diamond painting. It's going to be 90% diamond painting, 10% more. You know, like I talked about doing the live card readings once in a while. Well, that's definitely not diamond painting related. That would fall into the more category. You know, I might start doing, like I talked before, about spiritual Saturdays, where I'll just kind of talk about a spiritual subject. Well, that's definitely not I will be diamond painting while I'm talking about it, so it still kind of coincides. I have a lot of ideas that I do want to bring to my channel, but I don't want to be one of those mishmash channels that, okay, what kind of channel is this, right? Like, it is diamond painting. Diamond painting is my passion. Eventually, I'm going to learn how to seal diamond paintings and frame diamond paintings, making crafts with the leftover diamonds. Just right now with my back, I am in so much pain. So much pain. And dealing with other things. So for now, you get to see the diamond painting part. And we're just going to leave it at that. So if you're like me and you get those negative thoughts in your brain, every time you get a negative thought, try to replace it with 2 positive thoughts. So you're getting the 2 positive to the 1 negative. You know, and the main thing for me right now is YouTube. You know, am I good enough? Well, there's a negative. The negative is I don't think I'm good enough. Okay, well, what are the 2 positives? I've met amazing people and I'm building lifelong friendships. There's the 2 positives to that 1 negative. You know, it's been so therapeutic. And when it comes to the dislikes, well, thanks for stopping by. When it comes to people unsubscribing, for all I know, it might not be people unsubscribing. YouTube, what they'll do is if people are subscribed to your channel and they're not watching your videos, YouTube will actually remove them from your channel. I actually learned that from Mrs. Coffee. I think that's who I heard had said that. And I'm like, well, that makes sense. If you're not watching their videos, why would you be on their channel? So that makes sense to me. And like I said, Timeout Thursdays is just more or less me taking a timeout and thinking out loud. And maybe someone else can relate to what I'm thinking. You know, maybe I'm not the only one thinking these thoughts. You know I'm not the only sensey bunny out there. And what I mean by sensey bunny is sensitive. You know, I take everything personal. I don't know why, but I do. I do. So on that note, we're not going to make an hour-long video today. That was Timeout Thursday, a day late because I squirreled. I completely squirreled. It's Chip's fault. Chip, it's his fault. He squirreled me and I lost my days. Hopefully I will stay on track on a go forward basis. TGIF, I hope everybody has a wonderful, fabulous weekend. If you like these kinds of videos, please give it a thumbs up. Then I know I'm on the right track for content. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. That's your problem, not mine. Don't make it mine. And until our next video, stay positive, live blessed, have a wonderful morning, night, afternoon, wherever you are. There's only a few days left, so if you haven't entered in all the way back to the videos, go answer the questions, and you will get in. Today's is, are you tea or coffee? And throw in a heart. I can't do the heart, but throw in a heart. You got 2 entries. Have a wonderful day. I love you guys very much. I appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.